Hello, I'm Tylah Tully, and today I'm joined by Piedmont Lithium President and Chief Executive Officer Keith Phillips. Keith, Piedmont Lithium finds itself in an interesting place, trying to quickly approve a merger with Australian lithium company Sayona Mining. What can you tell us about the situation you found yourself in?
Well, Tyler, thanks for having me on. We announced last November a merger with Sayona Mining. They're our joint venture partner in the North American Lithium project in Quebec. We're looking to do a merger of equals, essentially, where each group of shareholders will own 50% of the combined company. And we've been moving forward on that for several months. We both had shareholder meetings last week. Sayona Mining got approval for their side of the merger, which is great. We had our shareholder meeting. We had 98% of the shares voted in favor of the merger. But as a U.S. company, we have an interesting requirement. We need to get 50.1% of shares outstanding to approve a merger. It's an American convention. That's not required in Australia, but it is required of us. So we only had 41% of our shares voted. They were almost all voted in favor, but we're in a position now where we need more votes. So we've adjourned our meeting until next Monday, August 11th, and we hope to get quorum by that time.
So how many Australian shareholders do you have?
Well, it's interesting. We have 25% of our stock is in CDI form, owned by principally Australians. And of that group, we had a really low turnout in the last vote. About 6 or 7% of the 25% voted. That was, they were universally in favor, or just about universally in favor. But it was disappointing from a numbers perspective, and we really need more. So we've extended the voting deadline for Australians until this Thursday morning, 7 a.m. And we're really hoping, and we're working hard. I was in conversations last night with several shareholders. And again, people are generally very positive on the idea of the merger. I think there's a concept of sort of retail apathy around shareholder meetings, which in this case, we just can't really have. We need to get people to vote. So we're really urging people to get out to vote.
And what are the benefits of this merger?
Well, it takes two companies and combines them and makes us kind of bigger, stronger, simpler. We share an asset in Quebec called North American Lithium, which is producing. It's the biggest lithium producer in all of North America currently. We each have our own growth projects. We have a project in North Carolina, the Carolina Lithium Project. We're earning a 50% interest in a wonderful project in Ghana with Atlantic Lithium. Sayona has their world-class Moblan development project. We're in an environment where creating a bigger, stronger company to kind of fund that development is really important. And we've sort of decided and looked over the last several quarters, really, ultimately leading up to an announcement last November to bring the two companies together. It'll be stronger, bigger, better capitalized. We think it'll have more appeal to investors both in Australia and the United States.
And what happens if Piedmont shareholders don't exercise their right to vote?
Well, listen, at some point, if we don't get 50.1% of shares outstanding to vote in favor of the merger will not happen. We can't consummate the merger without that. If we don't get it by this coming Monday, we would extend again. That's very much second choice. We're really focused and working hard to get votes in now and in advance of the next weekend. So again, for Australians, the voting deadline is Thursday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time in Australia, so effectively Wednesday night. So we're really urging people to vote as soon as they can.
So final question, what do Piedmont's Australian shareholders need to do?
Well, every shareholder would have received a proxy statement that contains information on how to vote. If there's any questions, they can certainly reach out to anyone at our company or the folks at Sodali, Sodali, our proxy solicitor in Australia, who are manning the phones 24/7 and able to process votes when people call in.
Keith, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
For more ASX news and analysis, subscribe below.